Campus of El Segundo High School. It's the Lawndale Cardinals facing off against El Segundo in Pioneer League action. Both of these teams coming in 0-2 in the Pioneer League. El Segundo 11-6 overall, Lawndale 15-4. And we have the tip-off, and it's won by the Eagles by Bryce Davis. Now Evenson back down to Davis down in the low post, and Davis puts it up and in from short range, and that's going to be a big problem for Lawndale tonight. Their height disadvantage. Bryce Davis goes up 6'7", and the tallest player on the floor for Lawndale right now goes only 6'3". Now Lawndale with Gerard Neely looking to feed somebody inside, but he has to keep it outside. That's Lamont Buckman. Back to Neely. This time it's Brandon Davis with a long shot, which is no good. Evenson clears the boards and outlets to Justin Johnson. Johnson, the leading scorer for the Eagles this year thus far, averaging almost 20 points per game. Now Davis with that long shot, and the rebound skeins out of bounds off of the Eagles, so it's Lawndale ball, 2-0 Eagles. Here comes Lawndale with a quick breakout, the ball into the front court to Neely. And now this time to Cartwright. Cartwright drives the lane, in and out, and the rebound, it's tipped out to Johnson. Johnson off and running, a short little jumper, no good. Bryce Davis crashes the boards and gets his second bucket. 4-0 Eagles, and that height disadvantage is going to really hurt Lawndale tonight. Lawndale's regular center, Chris Wash, out because of an ankle problem. He is a 6'5" player, and as I mentioned, the tallest player on the floor goes only 6'3", and there's Davis again crashing the boards, and he's having no trouble just pulling down offensive rebound after offensive rebound, but he's missing all the shots. Frustration, you can see it there on the part of Bryce Davis. Eagles off to a 4-0 start, however, in the early going. We're just underway here, 30 seconds or so, a minute and a half into this game. Now there's a turnover off the inbounds pass by Evenson, and Lawndale picks up its first bucket by Brandon Davis on a nice feed from Buckman. Buckman leads that team in assists. So 4-2 your score. Here's Justin Johnson on the baseline. Now he puts it into the paint, and a short little 8-foot jumper will not go for him. And it's rebounded by Gerard Neely. Across the timeline, feeds Davis. Davis goes to the baseline, air ball. Evenson with the rebound, long outlet, a nice pass, and a bucket by Andre Nunez. So that brings the score to 6-2. Now here's Bryce Cartwright to McCullough. That's Nick McCullough. Gives it up to Lamont Buckman, back to Cartwright, back to Buckman, down on the baseline, but that player is outsized. That's McCullough, who is rejected by Davis. And the pass, this time by the pass to Davis, who bangs it in, a little 12-foot bank shot. So that draws Lawndale to within 6-4. Now El Segundo in the front court, and Evenson is going to try a two-point shot, and that one is good from about 19 feet. That's Pete Evenson bringing the score to 8-4 in favor of El Segundo. Now we had some kind of a turnover. I did not see exactly what happened. Maybe traveling or a double dribble. Anyway, the ball turns over to El Segundo. Evenson gives it up to Waiters. Back to Evenson, this time to Price, back to Evenson. Bryce Davis back to Evenson. Evenson missed the layup. Here's Buckman over to McCullough along the baseline, but backed up to the top of the circle to Cartwright. Buckman with a long shot. It's a three-pointer, but it's short, and the rebound is juggled around by El Segundo. They should have come up with it, but they did not, and they lose it. That'll give Neely a chance, but he misses from downtown. This time El Segundo secures the rebound into the front court. Quickly, Nunez is fouled. He will shoot free throws, and that foul is going to be on Gerard Neely, his first. Let's see if Nunez is okay. He kind of came down pretty hard on his knees, I thought. He seems to be okay. There's your score in the early going. We've played 3.5 minutes. El Segundo with Bryce Davis at 6'7", getting the ball inside against the player that goes only 6'3". That's a mismatch that El Segundo has looked to exploit so far tonight. And Bryce Davis is leading the Eagles with the 4 points. Now Nunez's first free throw, no good. Nunez makes the second. And now we have a foul, it would appear, on Andre Nunez. That's his first. Looks like McCullough will inbound to Cartwright, back to McCullough, back to Cartwright. Down on the baseline. Couldn't see the number on that player. Now it's tipped out of bounds. That was Brandon Davis. It's tipped out of bounds by El Segundo. Be inbounded by Lawndale. McCullough all the way across to Buckman. This time to Cartwright. Back to Davis. This time to Cartwright. Cartwright drives the lane. He puts it up, and it looks like he drew the foul. It's going to be on Bryce Davis. So that's his first, I believe, and it'll send Bryce Cartwright to the line with El Segundo sporting their biggest lead of the night, 5 points. Cartwright's first free throw is good. Now we're going to have a substitution. Kevin Ryan is checking in for Tyrone Waiters. And the second free throw is also good by Cartwright. So that makes the score 9-6 in favor of El Segundo. Nunez handles the inbound. He's going to bring it across midcourt. Guarded by Davis. Gives it up to Bryce Davis. There's two Davises, one on each team. Brandon for, now we have a turnover by El Segundo. Brandon for Lawndale and Bryce for El Segundo. McCullough will inbound, and he goes to Buckman. Back to McCullough. El Segundo using kind of a half-court press, not too tough. And down low to Brandon Davis, and that was nice ball movement by Lawndale. They draw to within 1 point. Justin Johnson to Evenson, right in front of our table. Evenson now to Kevin Ryan. It looks like we're going to have a foul down low. I did not see it. It might have been against Buckman. No, it's against, looks like it's against Nick McCullough. Inbounded by Evenson, but it's turned over as McCullough jumped in front of that pass and tipped it away. Now Buckman back to Davis. That three-point shot was short. Here comes Justin Johnson, who has yet to score, the leading scorer for El Segundo. He's trying to take it to the hoop, and nothing doing as he brought down to the ground. Here comes Bryce Davis, who's recovered the ball down low to Nunez, and Nunez puts it up and in. Nice pass from Davis to Nunez. Here comes Davis. That's Brandon Davis, and he passed it off to Alfred Sterling, who is now checked in, and he gets his first back bucket. Davis down to Johnson. Johnson with a nice move, and there's the first 2 points of the night for the leading scorer for El Segundo, Justin Johnson. And a turnover to boot from Lawndale. El Segundo leads it by 3, 13-10, with 2:27 left here in the first quarter. Bryce Davis down low to Ryan. Ryan tried to find Nunez, but the ball was alertly batted away by Gerard Neely. So out of bounds to El Segundo. Evenson looking for Ryan, but instead gives it up to Johnson. Johnson is guarded by Cartwright. Johnson puts it on the floor. It looks like he's looking to pass. Now he gets a pick from Ryan. But he'll give it up to Nunez, who has a long three-pointer from the baseline. No good. It's rebounded by Ryan. The offensive rebounds is, rebounded by Davis. Bryce Davis is picking up a lot of offensive rebounds. It's just that El Segundo is not capitalizing. Now here comes the quickness of Lawndale trying to drive the lane, but it was rejected in there by, I believe, Davis, although I'm not sure. Evenson now looking for a long jumper, and it's short. The rebound is off of Lawndale is the call. So El Segundo will maintain possession and get a full 35-second clock to play with. 13-10 El Segundo. Johnson looking to get a pick. He does. Frees him up for a shot. Davis with the offensive rebound, and this time he does capitalize and puts it up and in. So that gives that 5-point lead back to El Segundo. This is the biggest lead they've had tonight. Here's a long three-point shot from Cartwright, no good. Now El Segundo looking to extend to 7. Here comes Johnson to Bryce Davis. Bryce Davis into the lane, and he puts it up and in. So Bryce Davis having a big game so far. He's got 8 points, and that height advantage, he is the tallest player on the floor, is really working out for him tonight thus far. There's a foul. Let's see, it's going to be 2 shots. I believe it's going to be on Justin Johnson. And that is indeed who gets the foul. That's his first. 2 shots for Lawndale, looking to cut the 7-point lead. And the first shot is good by Marcus Brown, who has recently checked in. Now we have Alfred Sterling checking out. McCullough checked back in. The second free throw from Brown is no good. Rebound to El Segundo. Here comes Johnson down the far sideline. Now he pulls up. Johnson looking to dribble through the lane, and he almost got the ball taken away from him, but he recovered nicely and got it out to Evenson. Back to Johnson. To Ryan. Ryan at the top of the lane. Now he draws a little closer over a 15-foot jumper, which is short. McNeely with the ball. Jared Neely, I should say, not McNeely. And he drives the lane, puts it up, no good. The rebound off to McCullough. McCullough out to Neely again, and he tried a three-pointer, which was no good. Justin Johnson comes down with a rebound, and El Segundo will hold for the last shot with the 6-point lead, 17-11. 10 seconds left in the first quarter. Justin Johnson eyeing the clock. He knows he's only got 6 seconds left now. 4, 3, 2, a long bomb, and it's in and out. So at the end of the first quarter of play, El Segundo with a solid advantage, 17-11 over the Cardinals of Lawndale. Second quarter action upcoming with El Segundo over Lawndale right now, 17-11. Leading scorer in that first quarter for El Segundo was Bryce Davis with 8. Second leading scorer was Andre Nunez with 5. Here comes Lawndale into the front court. That's Brandon Davis. Gives it up to Cartwright, to McCullough. Back looking for Davis, but it's stolen by Johnson, who drives all the way for 2. Justin Johnson with a very nice steal and took it all the way for the bucket. That's his third and fourth point of the evening. Now into the front court is Lawndale. Here's Cartwright to Davis, back to Cartwright. Cartwright spinning into the lane, a nice feed and a nice bucket by McCullough. Now it's 19-13, so that was very good work there by Cartwright. Now we have a player who's checked in for El Segundo, and that's Seth Long, number 30, and he gave it off that time to Justin Johnson, who tried to lay it in, but he had his layup attempt blocked. And now we have, let's see what this call is going to be. I think it's going to be on Justin Johnson. Indeed it is. That's his second foul. He's going to have to be careful. And he picked up a blocking foul there. And Let's see if Coach Saboski will sit down the leading scorer for El Segundo. So right now, the leading scorer for El Segundo is out of the game, and checking in for him was Nathan Graves. Here's Brandon Davis for Lawndale with a long bomb, which is no good. The rebound comes off to Andre Nunez, and he's sprinting across the stripe. He gives it up to Evenson, and Evenson with a three-pointer from the baseline. Swish. And that gives El Segundo a 9-point lead, biggest lead of the night. Now Brandon Davis with a jumper that is no good, and now the rebound to Andre Nunez, who sprints back across the court again. This time it's Bryce Davis with a long three-pointer as well, and El Segundo's heating up from downtown. 25-13 your score. El Segundo's pulled out by 12 now. So Lawndale in trouble here. Neely across the timeline. Lawndale's gone cold a little bit, and El Segundo's gotten hot, and from downtown no less. Neely beyond the three-point stripe. He's looking to spin. He's looking for the shot. He throws up an air ball. It's rebounded by, well, it's caught in the air by Alfred Sterling, who tried to put it back up, and he was fouled. So he's going to get 2 shots. Let's see who this foul is on. Not seeing the number given out by the referee, so we don't know. We'll have to wait from the announcement from our PA announcer. Looks like the foul. Looks like it might have been on Bryce Davis. That's his second. The foul shot from Sterling is no good. So let's see, Seth Long is sitting down. In came Kevin Ryan, I believe, yes. Second free throw is no good, so 2 misses from Sterling. And here comes Andre Nunez. El Segundo with an 11-point lead, and Nunez just drives the lane. Nobody stopped him, and he put it up and in. Nice alertness from Andre Nunez there as he saw the opening and took it. And from behind, Andre Nunez with a steal. So stellar play from Andre Nunez right now. There's a deflected pass that deflected to Kevin Ryan. I should say to Bryce Davis, and he's trying to get a rebound. Now I think he's going to get called for a foul over the back. I think that might be his 3rd foul. I'm not sure, which means that he would absolutely have to sit down, and he does, and in comes Seth Long. So the leading scorer in the first quarter for El Segundo now in a little bit of foul trouble. Buckman coming across for Lawndale to Sterling. No, excuse me, to Davis. Back to Buckman, back to Davis. Now it's Neely. Neely back to Davis for a 3-point shot, and it's around and out. Ryan with the rebound to Nunez. Nunez looking for Evenson, but he gives it up to Long instead. Now Evenson gets it on that baseline, but this is no good. The rebound to Long, and his pass was deflected and picked off by Buckman, who drives and puts it up and no good. Rebound to El Segundo's Graves. Now Graves into the front court after receiving a pass back from Evenson. Now Evenson has it back. There's Long. To Nunez, to Evenson. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Evenson, now we have a foul call. Let's see who this is on. It's going to be on Lawndale. Alex Acosta doesn't like it, and I believe it's on Brandon Davis. So now checking out for El Segundo is Nathan Graves, and checking in is Justin Johnson. Ball out of bounds to El Segundo. That was a non-shooting foul. Evenson to Justin Johnson. Justin back to Evenson, now to Nunez. Looking to get it to Long, but that was denied. Back to Evenson. Long now, too far away from the hoop. There's Nunez. Inside to Ryan. He's got good position, and he is going to be fouled. I don't believe he's going to get free throws. I can't see. see who the foul was on. I believe it was on number 34. So Nick McCullough picks up his second non-shooting foul again. They said that Ryan wasn't in the act yet when he was fouled. There's a nice little feed to Seth Long, and his shot was blocked, and they're saying it's Lawndale ball. Long doesn't understand it. Quite frankly, I don't either, because I thought that shot was blocked, and then it went directly out of bounds. So break for Lawndale, and they get the ball, but they trail it by 13, 26-13. There's 4 minutes left in the half. Here's Cartwright. He's guarded by Nunez. Gives it up to Buckman, who's got Evenson on him. Back to Cartwright. Down low to Sterling, and Sterling puts it up and in. That was nice ball movement by Lawndale, who draws now within 11. Still a very nice lead for El Segundo. Justin Johnson with Buckman on him, McCullough, and he drives into the lane, and now he's going to get called for traveling. He wanted a foul call there, but he didn't get it. So good defense by Lawndale, and they're doing a good job of nullifying Justin Johnson so far. He's only got 4 points. But El Segundo, nonetheless, has a big lead, 11 points. Into the front court, Bryce Cartwright. He's guarded by Evenson. Now Evenson falls. Cartwright puts up the shot, which does not go, and Justin Johnson with the rebound. He races across into the front court. The pass to Kevin Ryan, and he fumbles it, so loses it. Here comes, that's Cartwright with a hoop. Very quick transition there by Lawndale, and Lawndale tried to steal that inbounds, but I believe Cartwright was out of bounds. So El Segundo will maintain possession. Looks like we're going to have a timeout now. So El Segundo, I think it's El Segundo calling timeout, and we have a 26-17 lead. So El Segundo with a 9-point bulge with 3 minutes left here in the first half. So far, it's been a little bit of an unexpected turn of events in that Justin Johnson, who is customarily the leading scorer for El Segundo, has been held just to 4 points. The leading scorer for El Segundo thus far, Bryce Davis, with 11. And the next leading scorer is Andre Nunez with 7. So El Segundo has had other sources tonight, and as I was talking about a little bit earlier, the big problem for Lawndale tonight is a lack of height. Chris Wash, who normally would play center for them, he goes 6'5", he's out with a twisted ankle, and another tall player who goes 6'4", Jamar Hutchinson, has had some disciplinary problems apparently, and he's out. So 2 of their tallest players are out, and El Segundo taking advantage inside with a lot of offensive rebounds. Now Justin Johnson in the front court. Just 10 seconds left on the shot clock. He's going to have to do something. Nunez back to Johnson. 5 seconds left. I don't know if he realizes it. And he puts up a bomb, which just touches the rim. No good. And this is going to lead to an easy bucket in transition. And Sterling skying for 2. He threw it down, did Alfred Sterling. And that's his 5th and 6 points, and draws Lawndale to within 7 with 2:10 left in the first half. Justin Johnson, defended by Bryce Cartwright, gives it up to Evenson. Evenson drives the lane all the way. Nice drive by Pete Evenson. So that breaks the spell for El Segundo as Lawndale was starting to draw a little bit too close for comfort. Now there's Sterling putting up a baseline jumper, and now we have looks like a jump ball is called, and the possession arrow is favoring El Segundo, so they will get possession. Gerard Neely kind of got caught up in the air there and didn't put up a shot, so El Segundo now with possession and the lead, a 9-point lead, 1:40 left in the half. That was Tyrone Waiters who's checked back in. Evenson with a 3-pointer, and it's off the front of the rim. Justin Johnson with a rebound and a putback and a foul. So Justin Johnson, excuse me, that's Tyrone Waiters. No, Justin Johnson, I'm sorry. Justin Johnson with an alert offensive rebound. And he got a foul as he put it up and in. So Justin Johnson with a chance to add to the El Segundo lead. He puts up the free throw, and it's no good. So lead is 11 for El Segundo. Now we have a foul on El Segundo. Didn't quite see who that was on. Alex Acosta, the head coach for Lawndale, is discussing something with the referee, and this is going to lead to shots, 2 shots, or perhaps it's a 1-and-1. Not sure if it was a backcourt foul. Perhaps it was a backcourt foul. It might lead to 2 shots, and it's going to be Bryce Cartwright, who's made his only 2 free throws tonight. Minute and a half left in the first half, and right now El Segundo in control of this game, 30-19. Not sure what this hang-up is all about here, but there's a lot of jawing in between the referees and coaches, and a great deal of confusion on the floor as to who is actually going to be shooting these free throws. It's going to be Nick McCullough, it looks like, at the end of the day. And it's a 1-and-1, and he misses. So El Segundo with the rebound into the front court quickly. Evenson looking for Long down low. Long with the height advantage puts up a bank shot, no good. Long gets his own rebound, puts up a short little jumper, no good. And this time it's Sterling with the rebound. Gives it off to McCullough, and now it's Cartwright driving the lane. Cartwright puts up a little short shot, which doesn't go. Here comes Justin Johnson with a minute exactly left in the first half. El Segundo with an 11-point lead. Johnson with the little jump shot. It's no good, but the offensive rebound was hauled down by Tyrone Waiters, and he tried to put up a shot, but it was blocked out of bounds from behind. So El Segundo with the ball. Evenson inbounds to Long. Long with a short little shot, which does not go. And Neely now into the front court for Lawndale. There's a long cross-court pass to Buckman. Buckman to Sterling. Sterling loses it out of bounds, so El Segundo will get the ball on the turnover. 40 seconds left. Here comes Justin Johnson getting a pick from Evenson. Gives it up to Evenson. Evenson getting a pick from Long. Evenson gives it up to Andre Nunez. Back to Evenson on the baseline. Back to Nunez. Still nobody close enough to shoot the ball, but El Segundo wants to burn most of this time. They can shoot the ball with just 5 seconds left in the half. Justin Johnson loses it, but luckily it goes to Andre Nunez, who puts it up and in. A tough shot. Here's a long outlet to Buckman. Buckman driving the lane, no good. Neely with the rebound, and he puts it up and good. So a quick exchange there of baskets, and that's the end of the first half, with El Segundo in the lead. An 11-point lead for El Segundo, 32-11. So 32-21, excuse me, an 11-point lead. So El Segundo firmly in control. We'll be back with second half action. Don't go away. Second half action is just about to commence. Eagles ended the first half with an 11-point lead, 32-21. And I'll give you a quick recap on the top scoring for the Eagles. Well, I can give you a quick recap on all the scoring. Bryce Davis was the top scorer with 10. Next was Andre Nunez with 9. Pete Evenson had 7. And Justin Johnson had 6. So that's it for the Eagles. Only 4 scorers for Lawndale. It was Brandon Davis and Alfred Sterling, both with 6 points apiece. And next was Bryce Cartwright with 4. After that, it was a couple of players with 2 and another player with 1. So certainly a low-scoring half for Lawndale as they get going now. They are moving from left to right on your screen in the red. There's Brandon Davis giving it up to Buckman. Davis swinging it across to McCullers, but he gets it back. There's Buckman feeding it down low to McCullough, and it's stolen by El Segundo. Johnson with a nice outlet to Ryan. Ryan puts it up, and it counts. He was fouled. No, Bryce Davis. I'm sorry, I said Kevin Ryan. That's Bryce Davis. So foul was on Brandon Davis. That's his second. Bryce Davis gets a chance to complete the three-point play, but misses the free throw. That's got to be frustrating for him. But nonetheless, El Segundo extends the lead to 13. There's a feed into the paint to Neely, who puts it up and misses. Johnson is mugged and loses it out of bounds. But luckily, it went off of a Lawndale player. I'm sure Johnson would like to get untracked a little bit here in the second half. There's a long shot by Evenson, and it swishes from that baseline, his favorite spot. That's his second three-pointer of the night. Pete Evenson extends this lead to 16 for El Segundo. So it would appear that El Segundo is on its way to a league victory here tonight as Buckman puts it up and it's no good. Davis hauls down the rebound, outlets to Johnson. Johnson's going to try to take it all the way. However, he loses it out of bounds. Let's see, it's off of a Lawndale player. Probably off of Bryce Cartwright. I'm not sure. Anyway, El Segundo gets to put the ball inbounds. Evenson to Johnson, back to Evenson. Evenson with a shorter baseline jumper. This time he misses it. The rebound offensive was to Bryce Davis, and I believe they're going to say he was fouled, although I'm not sure. What is this call? Anyway, Bryce Davis, ball was inbounded. Here's Bryce Davis with a short little shot, and he puts it up, and it's good. It's about a 10-footer. So he's really picking up, starting to pile up the points. And Justin Johnson hit the deck there. I did not see exactly what happened, but looks to be okay. Right now, Bryce Davis has 14 points in the game. And the Eagles have really pulled away. They lead it by 18. The correct score is 39-21. So it looks as if this height disadvantage has been too much for Lawndale. They have a very short bench as well because they have two players missing. And the Eagles have just romped here tonight. The Eagles' two losses in the league were against very, very tough teams. Centennial, which is, I'm not sure where they're ranked in Southern California, but I'll tell you what, Centennial's ranked in the top 5 in Southern California. And the other loss was against Torrance. It was also a very, very tough team. The Pioneer League is a tough, tough league this year, and El Segundo will have its hands full just getting into playoffs. So tonight is an important game. El Segundo must win, and it looks like they're well on their way to doing it. Buckman with a nice little assist to Nick McCullough, who hit the 7-foot jumper there in the paint. Johnson now bringing it across midcourt for El Segundo to Davis. Davis to Andre Nunez, who's guarded by Buckman. Johnson a little too far out, gives it to Davis, back to Johnson. He's thinking about the shot, gives it up to Evenson, back to Davis, and Davis traveled. Took a little bunny hop there. So the turnover to Lawndale, inbounded by McCullough. To Buckman, to McCullough. Back to Buckman. On the wing to Davis, in and out. Brandon Davis's attempt, no good. Rebounded by Bryce Davis to Johnson. Evenson all the way, and he misses. Oh, he should have had that one, I'm sure he feels. Here's Neely to Buckman. Buckman, I'm in the land of giants, and little 5'8" Buckman over Bryce Davis, and those are Buckman's first points in tonight's game, and that draws Lawndale to within 14. Still a very comfortable lead for El Segundo. Bryce Davis from three-point land thinks about it, gives it up to Evenson. Evenson has got Davis on him. Nunez to Bryce Davis. Bryce Davis with a little 10-footer, and he puts it up and in. Maybe an 11-footer, but anyway. A nice little jump shot by Bryce Davis, who's having a big night tonight. With that 6'7" frame, nobody can really match up too well against him on the Lawndale side. There's a Air ball from McCullough. The rebound, I'm sorry, that was from Cartwright. The rebound goes to McCullough. Now it's Buckman in the lane. This time the Landon Giants is not friendly to him, and he misses. Bryce Davis clears a rebound to Justin Johnson, now to Evenson. Back to Johnson. Johnson has been guarded pretty well by Bryce Cartwright tonight. Evenson down to Bryce Davis. This time Bryce Davis gets it blocked, but he gets the ball back, puts up a shot, and he is fouled. And this one's going to be on McCullough, and I believe that's his third. And Bryce Davis will shoot free throws. So Bryce Davis looking to extend this 16-point lead, and he hits the first free throw. Now we have substitutions. We have Sterling coming in, as well as, let's see, looks like Jonathan Torres checked in as well for Lawndale. And for El Segundo, we had Nathan Graves check in. And both free throws were good. So Neely took it all the way. Sterling got the offensive rebound of Neely's miss, but couldn't do anything with it. And El Segundo clears the boards and into the front court. There's Nunez to Graves. And Graves, let's see what this call is. I thought, well, it's a foul, I believe, on number 21 of El Segundo, Tyrone Waiters. I've got that as his first. 18-point lead for El Segundo, so comfortable tonight. 4 minutes left here in the third quarter. There's a rejection by Bryce Davis. It went into Neely's hands, and Neely driving the lane, and they're going to say he traveled. So turnover by Lawndale. 4 minutes left, as I mentioned. Now we have Evenson sitting down. Justin Johnson coming back into the game. El Segundo really hasn't needed Justin Johnson tonight. There's an inbound from Tyrone Waiters. It's been mostly Bryce Davis, as he has used his big height advantage to just abuse the Lawndale post team. That time he was being guarded, I believe, by Alfred Sterling, yes, who goes 6'4", so it's a 3-inch disadvantage, but also Bryce Davis is just a bigger kid. He outweighs Sterling. Here's Lawndale in the front court. Neely to Cartwright. Neely this time to Buckman. Buckman goes into the Landon Giants, and he's rejected by Bryce Davis. The short little jumper by Justin Johnson, who just does not have it going tonight. That was a very makeable shot. Here's Buckman into the front court. Nice little assist to Sterling, and Sterling hits the short bucket. Now here comes El Segundo, and the ball is lost out of bounds, but it's off of Lawndale. So El Segundo will maintain possession. They lead it by 16. Nunez will inbound to Davis, and Davis has another bucket. No stopping him when he gets positioned that close to the basket. He was only about 4 feet from the glass. This time, the ball is put up by Jonathan Torres, and he misses. There's a long outlet to Bryce Davis, and he tried to dunk, and he missed it. Oh, Bryce should have just laid it in. Oh, well. There's a little shot by Jonathan Torres, who makes a short baseline shot. But I guess when you're up by 16, you can try something new. Bryce Davis wanted to dunk. There's Justin Johnson driving the lane, and he's going to draw the foul, and this foul is going to be on Bryce Cartwright. So I've only got one on Bryce Cartwright. Not sure if that's correct, but it's going to send Justin Johnson to the line for 2 shots regardless. Johnson with 6 points tonight. He has missed his only free throw attempt of the evening. Let's see if he can make this one. or one of these anyway. And there's a good free throw from Justin Johnson. That extends the lead to 17. Now checking in Seth Long, checking out Bryce Davis, checking out Nunes, checking in Evenson. Ryan also checked in, Kevin Ryan. So we got Kevin Ryan, Seth Long. Those are the big men out on the floor for El Segundo. Right now, Justin Johnson makes both free throws. So this is probably the biggest lead of the night, 18 points for El Segundo. There's a jumper off of, it's no good by Brandon Davis. El Segundo into the front court. Justin Johnson got everybody into the popcorn machine, but couldn't take the shot. Gives it up to Evenson. He got it back and then gave it up to Nathan Graves. Then he got it back and put up a shot that was short. No good. Ball's out of bounds off of El Segundo. Ball to Lawndale. 1:51 left in the third. El Segundo up by 18 points. Inbound by McCullough to Sterling. Sterling racing to the front court to Davis. Davis to Torres. Torres with a long baseline shot, which is no good. Rebounded by Graves to Johnson. Johnson inbound into the low post to Kevin Ryan, and they're going to say he traveled, I believe. So there's a turnover. And now Bryce Davis, after a very quick breather, checks back in. Here's Brandon Davis to Nick McCullough. McCullough into the front court to Cartwright. Cartwright drives the lane, puts it up, no good. Rebounded by Davis to Johnson. Johnson with Cartwright as shadow, gives it up to Seth Long, who's guarded by the much shorter Sterling. Gives it up to Evenson. Now there's Bryce Davis to Johnson. Johnson fakes the shot. Now he puts it up, and it's no good. Offensive rebound again to Davis, and he's fouled. So Davis is just having a field day inside tonight. Looks like Sterling's going to pick up that foul. That's his second. Let's see if it'll send Davis to the line. It will. Davis has 10 points in this half, in this quarter alone. He's got 20 points overall. And that free throw goes down. Evenson checks in. And Nathan Graves, well, no, they switched. Evenson takes Graves' spot in the key, alongside the key in the blocks. Davis's second free throw is no good. Rebound, Brandon Davis. Nice long bounce pass to Buckman. Buckman puts up the three-pointer, and it's no good. Davis with the rebound. It's taken away by Sterling. Nice steal. Sterling driving, no good, and now Davis will hang on to this rebound. There's about 42 seconds left in this quarter. El Segundo with a big lead. Evenson with a line drive shot, which is no good. Cleared off by Sterling. Sterling outlets to McCullough. McCullough gets it across to Buckman. Buckman to Sterling down the lane, and he's fouled. The shot's no good. Let's see who draws this foul. Let's see who gets called. It might have been Long. And it is Seth Long. And Seth Long's first, as far as I can tell. But two free throws coming to the Lawndale man. That's Sterling, Alfred Sterling. Lawndale trailing it by 19, so a bit of a blowout here tonight at the boys' gym. Sterling misses the free throw. I spoke with Alex Acosta, the coach of Lawndale, before the game, and when I found out that these two players were going to be missing, Chris Wash, their 6'5" center, he's listed as a forward, but he's the tallest player on their team, and Jamar Hutchinson, another forward who goes 6'4", both misses from Sterling, and the rebound handled by Long. So when I found out that those two tall players would be missing for Lawndale, it meant that El Segundo would have a big height advantage inside, and they have exploited it tonight. Leading scorer is Bryce Davis, the 6'7" player for El Segundo, and he has just had a field day. Now let's see what this call is all about. He tried to go inside, I think, to Seth Long, but we have a foul. So Sterling, I believe, picks up another foul. That's his third now. And ball will be inbounded by Evenson. 6 seconds left in the quarter, and now there's only 5 seconds left in the quarter as El Segundo gets another chance to inbound the ball. They're going to have to put up a shot quickly. They lead it by 19. So let's see if they can extend to over 20. There's the inbound to Bryce Davis. Evenson gets it back. The bank shot is no good, and that's going to be the end of the third quarter. With your score, El Segundo leading it by 48 to 29. So the fourth quarter promises to be quite a slug of garbage time, if you will, as El Segundo has just taken control of this game from the outset, and very little that Lawndale could do about it, really. They just did not have the height to match up with the Eagles. And so the Eagles just kept pounding it inside tonight to Bryce Davis. And let's give you the totals on him. I believe he's got over 20 points now. And indeed he does. He's got 23 points. 21 points, correction. 21 points thus far for Bryce Davis. He's far and away the leading scorer for El Segundo. The next leading scorer is Pete Evenson with 10. So after that, it's Andre Nunez and then Justin Johnson with 8. Just 4 scorers for El Segundo tonight. Interestingly enough, just 4 players on the scoreboard. So here we go with fourth quarter action. Evenson to inbound. He does so, and it's immediately tipped away by Buckman, who picks up the steal, and nice job by Lamont Buckman as he got a little layup there, and not without some acrobatics. He had to go around a much bigger man. So Lamont Buckman immediately turns that inbounds into, and now there's a turnover as Andre Nunez went backcourt violation. He sort of went into the front court and then went back into the backcourt again, said the referee. So not a good start here for El Segundo in the fourth quarter. However, they do enjoy this very large lead. Now checking in is Tyrone Waiters, and checking out is Seth Long. Inbound will go to Lawndale, and it's McCullough to Lamont Buckman to Cartwright. Cartwright is double teamed, and Cartwright loses the ball. He's complaining, but he's not going to get any sympathy from the referee. Here's Justin Johnson with a jump shot, which is no good. He just hasn't had it tonight. Here's Cartwright, and he lays it up and in. And so the lead now down to 15. Here comes Justin Johnson. Gives it up to Andre Nunez. Nunez was shoved by Buckman. Buckman picks up the foul. So that's his first. At least that's what I got him for in my book, although it's not official. 7:08 left in this game. 48-33 El Segundo. So a 15-point lead for the Eagles. They haven't scored yet in this quarter, however. They're going into their bread and butter. Davis now back to Evenson. Now swinging it to the top of the circle to Justin Johnson. Back to Davis. That's not really his shot, and he misses it. And it goes off to Cartwright. Cartwright into the front court. Gives it up to Brandon Davis, a three-pointer, and it's good. And pretty soon, El Segundo is going to have to call a timeout as Lawndale has drawn to within 12. And there you have it. Coach Saboski calling timeout. Rick Saboski is seeing the Mo swing over to Lawndale in a big way. They've scored the first 7 points of this fourth quarter. Calls timeout to try and get things settled down on that Eagle bench. So there you have your score. Actually, it's 48-36 is the correct score. So a 12-point bulge by the Eagles, but it was a much bigger lead just a scant minute and a half ago. So the Eagles will be looking to control the tempo a little bit and get the ball into Bryce Davis, because that's been their bread and butter tonight. Justin Johnson just has not had a good night shooting the ball. And Bryce Davis has had a big height advantage inside. Pete Evenson has had some success shooting the ball. He's got 2 3-pointers tonight. Evenson will inbound. To Justin Johnson. Justin Johnson guarded by Cartwright. Justin Johnson puts up a air ball. I think it might have been partially blocked. Nonetheless, the woes continue for Johnson tonight. Here's Buckman, and mercifully his shot is no good, mercifully for El Segundo, but the offensive rebound is handled by Lawndale, and then the feed down inside to Sterling. So Lawndale now to within 10. El Segundo struggling here in the fourth quarter. Andre Nunez to Justin Johnson. Justin Johnson too far away from the basket. And there's another steal by Lawndale, and Sterling is going to lay it in. So storming back is Lawndale, and what I thought would be garbage time has now turned into a bit of a tense game for El Segundo as they have gone into the deep freeze offensively here. And there's another turnover, and here comes Lawndale. Luckily, Nunez turns it back over, but then he gives it up, and Sterling puts it up. And we have a call. I did not hear the whistle, but an outrage from the Lawndale side, as there was some call against Lawndale, and the Lawndale supporters are beside themselves, as is their coach, Alex Acosta. You don't see it here. You see the happy El Segundo side. But there in the upper right-hand corner of your screen is the Lawndale supporters, and they are very unhappy with this call by one of our officials tonight. I'm not sure what the call was. Anyway, I was following the action, and the call was behind the action. Anyway, Lawndale has reeled off about 9 straight points, maybe more, excuse me. Let's see, how many points have they reeled off? 11 straight points. Lawndale has reeled off 11 straight points to open the fourth quarter, and they have drawn to within 8. So El Segundo needing some leadership out on the floor tonight, right now. And let's see if they can get it from Bryce Davis, the senior, 6'7", 215 pounds. He's by far and away the leading scorer tonight for El Segundo. Let's see if they can pound it into him, as they have so much of the night. I'm sure Saboski is looking for them to feed the ball down low to Davis. Let's see if he can draw a foul or get a short little shot. But he is too far away from the basket right now. There's Justin Johnson. Justin Johnson driving the lane, and a beautiful crossover move, and Justin Johnson comes to the rescue there with a nice bucket. Here's a long shot by Brandon Davis, a 3-pointer, and that's 2 for him. And now it's a 7-point lead, so Lawndale relentless here in the fourth quarter. Here's Bryce Davis looking to feed it to somebody, looking for Justin Johnson, and he was being denied the ball by Bryce Cartwright, but he's going to get called for a foul. So that's his second of the night, and it's a 1-and-1, I believe. Now, what are they going to call here? No, he's got to inbound the ball. Well, there's confusion. It's a 1-and-1. So big free throws coming up for Justin Johnson. Lawndale's over the limit. Justin Johnson scored 10 points thus far tonight. And the free throw is good. That's his third free throw of the night. He's 3 for 4 from the line. And there's 2 big free throws from Justin Johnson that puts the lead back to 9. Buckman to Cartwright, swinging around to Davis for a short little jumper, which is no good. And now, looks like we have a foul called on, might be on Justin Johnson. It is. That's his third of the night. And so Lawndale will get the ball out of bounds. 4:43 left. 43 to 52. 52 to 43, I should say. El Segundo in the lead, a 9-point lead. So this game not over by any stretch of the imagination. And there's a turnover to Nunez. Nunez to Evenson. Evenson driving, and Evenson puts it up and in. And you get the feeling that the spell has been broken as El Segundo now with 4 consecutive points and ups the lead to 11. Here's Cartwright, coast to coast. Very nice. Bryce Cartwright. That's his 8th point of the night. 7th and 8th points of the night. So 9 points is the lead for El Segundo. 4:15 left in the game. Justin Johnson gets his man in the popcorn machine and puts it up, and now he's starting to warm up. I believe he should have gotten a foul call on that play as well. He should have been at the line for a 3-point type play, but he didn't get the call. Evenson with a steal on Cartwright to Nunez. Nunez, Andre. What happened? You were too open there. So the ball out of bounds, but the lead is 11 now for El Segundo. Brandon Davis is just bombing away from 3-point land, but he misses that time. Bryce Davis with the rebound, clearing it out to Justin Johnson. Justin Johnson starting to feel it. Gives it up to Evenson for a 3-pointer from his favorite spot on the baseline. Nunez tips the rebound. It went to Lawndale ultimately. Here's Cartwright with a nice feed down low, but the shot is missed by Brandon Davis, and he is upset with himself. That was a little 3-foot shot along the baseline, and he couldn't believe he missed. So El Segundo back in control. They've got that 11-point lead, and they've got the ball, but there's a turnover. Oh dear. Cartwright with a long lead to Brandon Davis, and he puts it up and in. So now the lead is cut down to 9 again. 3:10 left in this game. It's not over. El Segundo has let Lawndale get a sniff of this game. Here's Andre Nunez to Waiters. Waiters back to Johnson. Johnson's got a big height advantage on Buckman. He blows by him. Now he's getting some help. And Justin Johnson puts it up and no good. A little bit of a wild move in the lane there. Here's Sterling to Davis with a bomb. Luckily for El Segundo, it did not go. It might have been a 4-point play as there was a foul called. And it's going to be 3 free throws. I think it got called on Evenson. I'm not 100% sure, but in any case, he's not in foul trouble. Brandon Davis has been hoisting up the threes in this fourth quarter, trying to get his team back into it. Now he's going to have 3 free throws. He could draw his team to within 6 if he makes all 3 of them. That would be the closest they've been since sometime in the first quarter, probably. First free throw is good. Misses the second. He'll have 1 more. And that's a big miss because it'll keep the lead if he makes this one at least at 7, which is a lot different from 6. 7, and the third free throw is good. So he made 2 out of the 3. It's a 7-point lead for El Segundo with 2:40 left in the game. Here's Evenson. He's got Davis on him, looking for Ryan. He feeds it to him. Ryan back to Evenson, but the ball was tipped away by Sterling, and it's stolen now by Lawndale. Here comes Lawndale. Here's Cartwright down the lane. Cartwright misses. The rebound to Buckman, I should say to McCullough, and McCullough hits it, and now it's just a 5-point lead for El Segundo. El Segundo has got to take some time off this 30-second clock here. They should not shoot until this clock is inside of 10 seconds. Here's Bryce Davis looking to make something happen, and he got the ball stolen. Unbelievable. Here's Bryce Davis and Brandon Davis, and Bryce Davis got him all the way back to deny him. And that was a huge block by Bryce Davis. And now Rick Saboski calls time as Lawndale had a chance to cut it to 3. A huge block by Bryce Davis as he got back just in time to deny Brandon Davis, who had stolen the ball. It's nervous time here at the boys' gym as El Segundo has just had a bad fourth quarter here and allowed Lawndale back into this game. There's the strategizing going on the Lawndale side. There's the El Segundo side coming back on the floor. Clearly, you know, the figure of tonight's game for El Segundo is Bryce Davis. Might have just saved the game there with that block. I mean, if they get that easy layup there, there's no telling what could happen in this game. Now El Segundo has the ball. Evenson into Bryce Davis. Back to Evenson. Pull it up. Back to Bryce Davis. Down low. That's what you want. And Bryce Davis has his first points of the fourth quarter, and it puts the lead back up to 7. Here's Brandon Davis driving the baseline, and he's rejected by Bryce Davis, who can't believe the foul call. Oh, dear. Bryce Davis picks up his fourth, and it's going to send Brandon Davis to the line. I could not see from here, but Bryce Davis felt it was a clean block, but the referee felt otherwise. So 2 shots for Brandon Davis, who's been a one-man crew, wrecking crew here for Lawndale in this fourth quarter. And his first free throw is good. Brandon Davis has scored 11 points here in the third quarter for Lawndale. The lead is 6 for El Segundo, 1:44 to play. Brandon Davis's second free throw is no good, and Bryce Davis clears the rebound. Nunez looking to just take it easy, burn up some time. There's only 1:35 left. Gives it up to Tyrone Waiters, back to Evenson, and there's really no hurry for El Segundo here. Now driving the baseline, it's Graves, and he puts it up and in. Those are his first points of the night, and those are big ones. And now here's a huge turnover. I believe it might have been, the ball might have been tipped out of Buckman's hands by Graves, and it rolled to Davis. And now El Segundo should just kill clock. Ball tipped out of bounds by Davis. El Segundo has an 8-point lead, and now I believe you could safely say this game is pretty much salted away, as there's only 1:09 left. But a little bit of a scare for El Segundo here in the fourth quarter, as Brandon Davis was driving for what could have been a bucket that would have drawn Lawndale to within 3. Bryce Davis came up with a huge block. Now there's 1:09 seconds left in the whole game, and El Segundo leads it by 8, and they have the ball. Evenson to Justin Johnson. And Justin Johnson should just absolutely be in no hurry here. Evenson to Bryce Davis. None of the El Segundo players should be in any hurry. Justin Johnson. He's got Sterling on him. Justin Johnson. There's still 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Now they can think about shooting. Bryce Davis. 7 to Evenson. The bomb. And it's good. And it's a 3-pointer, and that puts the game away for sure. Huge points from, well, I don't know if they're huge, but Evenson salted the game away for sure. And there's a big block by Graves on Buckman. Buckman only goes 5'8", so, but still a good play from Graves. And El Segundo will win this game as they lead it now by 11, and there's less than a minute left. There's another steal by El Segundo. Here goes Evenson with a little razzle-dazzle behind the back, which didn't quite work, but they did get the ball back. And now Johnson is fouled by Sterling, and he'll go to the line in a 1-on-1 situation. That's Sterling's fourth foul. So El Segundo, their record will move to 12-6 after this win. They will be 1-2 in league. El Segundo's losses in league were to Centennial, who's unbelievably tough this year, and Torrance. So this is a good game for El Segundo to win at home against a somewhat depleted team. I know Coach Saboski will probably talk to them a little bit about letting this team back in it late. Free throw is good from Johnson. That's Johnson's 15th point tonight. And the second free throw is also good. So Johnson will most likely end up with 16 tonight unless he gets another bucket. There's a bomb from Cartwright. It's no good. It's rebounded by Justin Johnson, who will now probably just salt away the clock here. Watch out. And he has the ball stolen from behind by Brandon Davis, who's going to loft up a 3. And it's no good, but the rebound to Sterling doesn't really make any difference, as it's just going to change the final score by a bucket. But the final score in favor of El Segundo, 65-54. El Segundo 12-6, as I mentioned, 1-2 in league. Lawndale drops to 15-5, 0-3 in league. And there you have it, the first Pioneer League victory this season for the El Segundo Eagles. Again, your final score from the boys' gym, 65-54 in favor of the El Segundo Eagles. Leading scorer tonight was Bryce Davis. Let me give you a quick total on him. Bryce Davis tonight had, 23 points on the night. And he is your leading scorer for the El Segundo Eagles tonight. Nice victory for El Segundo. For ESCC TV, for Robert Chettle, our director, and for all of our production staff, I'm Diego Sanchez signing off from the boys' gym.